Hi, this is Sean Garrison, online editor of Cordell & Cordell and DadsDivorce.com. Today we are joined by Laurence Kotlikoff. Mr. Kotlikoff is a professor of economics at Boston University, and over 20 years ago started a sideline business to sell financial planning software. Mr. Kotlikoff and his firm, Economic Security Planning, recently started offering a fair divorce decision service to assist divorcing couples weigh proposed financial settlements that impact both individuals. We'll talk with Mr. Kotlikoff about the service and what it provides, and how divorcing couples can use it to simplify their divorce settlements. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Kotlikoff.
Great. It's a great pleasure to be with you.
One of the biggest stumbling blocks couples often face when trying to reach a divorce settlement is that their emotions end up getting in the way of rational decision making. It sounds like your service seeks to resolve these disagreements by analyzing the actual facts of each couple's individual situation. Can you explain the different factors that your service considers and how it factors into the analysis?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of guessing about what exactly I'm going to get in terms of what I get to spend if I get divorced under this particular settlement agreement. And there shouldn't be any real guessing. It should be pretty clear if you have a set of assumptions about what your earnings are going to be and what the alimony is going to be and what the asset division is going to be. It's no longer really a guessing game as to what people can spend on a sustainable basis. So our software is coming up with that sustainable living standard. So it allows people to figure out, we figure out for people what they get to spend and what their other partner, ex-partner will get to spend. So you can get to see what the husband and the wife both will be living on and then make a comparison. Is that fair? Now, it may be that in the case of a very long marriage, that having a perfectly identical living standard makes sense, that they both should have the same living standard, that's a notion of fairness. But for people that have only been married for a couple of weeks, for example, that wouldn't necessarily be reasonable. You also have to take into account the fact that somebody might work longer or harder, and so it's not just the spending that has to be considered in order to get to a notion here of fairness. But the spending is important and is an important aspect. There's also differences in housing services. So this service that we're now providing, called the FairDivorceDecisions.com, is meant to try and explain to people exactly what any given divorce settlement will mean for them and for their spouse in terms of living standard, but also to spell out what it means in terms of housing services, because if one person lives in a house that's 5 times more expensive than the other, we're trying to point out that that's 5 times more housing services. And then in addition, we want to talk about, intensivity of work and understand exactly what that means in terms of fairness. It's not that we can say for sure what fairness means. It's that we can explain to our clients here that fairness has these different aspects to it, and that you have to look at these different factors. But again, we're trying to quantify for sure what the spending differences are, and certainly what the housing differences are.
Sure, and we know that financial matters in the divorce process can be incredibly complex. What's the ease of use with this service, and how easy is it for users to analyze the information they're provided?
Well, so the service, so again, it's the FairDivorceDecisions.com. The service involves people sending us their data, the data they would otherwise be providing to a financial mediator. We can work with a mediator, we can work with divorce attorneys, or we can work just directly with the husband, the wife, or both, whatever they would like. And they provide us the data. We have a online questionnaire that we ask them to fill out. They provide us that information, and then we have some back and forth conversations, figure out what divorce settlements they're thinking about, or the exes or the other spouses proposing, and then we, for $500, we'll consider 4 different divorce settlement proposals, and and in each case, what we're doing is providing a full financial plan for each spouse under each proposal. So they're going to get a detailed PDF report for each spouse for each proposal back from us, and also an overview. Here's the 4 proposed settlements, and here's how you would each fare under each settlement. So what we do is we talk to the party or parties that are seeking divorce here and ask them what they would like us to consider. But we also have to collect basic facts, like how much are you earning, how much do you have in assets, retirement accounts, all the key factors about housing, about pension plans. And our software that we're using for the service, and people can buy it directly at esplanner.com. That stands for Economic Security Planner. So esplanner.com. If they want to do this analysis themselves without our direct help, they can do that. But whether you use the software directly or whether you let us help you produce these plans, the software is taking into account all the tax issues, federal and state, all the Social Security benefit issues. We also try and optimize over people's Social Security benefit choices. So divorcees have an advantage insofar as they can both get a free spousal benefit off the other spouse if they've been married for 10 years or more before they got divorced. And then we also take into account the Medicare Part B premiums, which are quite expensive, that people are going to face in old age. So we're trying to take into account in very fine detail all the expenses that people are going to have on the tax side, Medicare premiums, and also the benefits they're going to get from Social Security, so that we don't miss anything. So that's the key thing. We're trying to stop the arguments, because it's easy to fight over things you don't know about. The husband can think he's right, the wife can think she's right. They can both be justified in thinking they're right, but only one of them is right, or they could both be wrong.
That was Laurence Kotlikoff, professor of economics at Boston University and founder of Economic Security Planning, Inc. To read more about Mr. Kotlikoff's divorce planning service, visit fairdivorcedecisions.com. You can also find many articles regarding the financial aspects of divorce on DadsDivorce.com. This has been Sean Garrison. Thank you for watching Dad's Divorce Live.